Good morning everyone. Welcome to the lecture on potentiometers. So the learning objective of today's lecture is to introduce the potentiometers and to understand the principle of operation of potentiometers and list out what are the applications of potentiometers. And the fourth learning objective of this lecture is to classify the different types of potentiometers. So how the potentiometers are classified. The last objective of this lecture is to understand the construction and working principle of slide wire potentiometers. Okay, so let us see one by one. So first of all, introduction to potentiometer. So what is a potentiometer? So potentiometer is an instrument which is used to measure an unknown voltage by comparing it with a known voltage. So voltage in the sense EMF, electromotive force. The small EMF we are calling as a voltage. Okay, the small voltage we are calling as a EMF. Therefore, a potentiometer is a measuring instrument which is used to measure an unknown voltage by comparing it with a known voltage. So it works on the principle of comparison method. Comparison method. So what are the applications of potentiometers? So coming to the applications of potentiometers, the potentiometers are mostly used for the measurement of small EMFs. Not only measure the EMF, but also by using the potentiometer, we can also measure the unknown current and unknown resistance. These potentiometers can be used for the calibration of voltmeter, ammeter and wattmeter. By using this potentiometer, we can check the correctness of the ammeter, wattmeter and voltmeter. So these are the applications of potentiometer in the laboratories. That means by using this potentiometer, we can check whether the given ammeter, wattmeter or voltmeter whether working properly or not. So this is the application of the potentiometers. So first, principle of operation of potentiometers. So what is the idea about this principle of operation of potentiometer means? So let us take only two cells or batteries which are having a small voltage. Let us say 3 volts, 3 volts. Okay, so both the voltages of these cells are same voltage. That is, if it is one cell voltage is 3 volts, another cell voltage must be also 3 volts. Now you connect the plus terminal of both the terminals, positive terminals and the negative terminals along with a galvanometer as shown in the figure. Now see, in this figure, so the two cells, that is having the magnitude E volts and E volts, we have connected the positive terminals along with the galvanometer and negative terminals. So what is the idea about this potentiometer means, whenever the voltages are equal, so the two voltages are equal, so there is no current flowing between them, because if the voltages are equal, the potential difference between them is zero. Therefore, if there is no potential difference, so no current flows through the galvanometer. So galvanometer will give you the null deflection. So this is the principle of operation of the potentiometer. That means what is the idea to measure the unknown EMF by comparing with a known EMF. This is called comparison method. Therefore, whatever this unknown cell, let us say this below cell is an unknown voltage, above cell is the known voltage. So the below cell voltage will compare with the above cell voltage. Therefore, whenever these two voltages are equal in magnitude, therefore the current flowing through the circuit is zero. So galvanometer will give the null deflection. When the galvanometer will give you the null deflection, this is meaning that the two voltages are equal. So this is the idea of the potentiometer's principle of operation. So next one is, what are the different types of potentiometers? So there are different types of potentiometers are available. One is AC potentiometers, another one is a DC potentiometer. So AC potentiometer is a measuring instrument which is used to measure an unknown AC voltage by comparing it with a known AC voltage. So this is the principle of operation of the AC potentiometer. That means AC potentiometer must measure the unknown magnitude of the unknown AC voltage and phase angle of the unknown AC voltage. But coming to the DC potentiometer, the DC potentiometer measure the unknown DC voltage by comparing it with a known DC voltage. That means the DC there is no phase difference. So phase difference does not exist in the DC. Therefore, we will talk about the DC potentiometer to understand Okay, so first of all we will consider the DC potentiometer. So what is its working principle and operation? So later we will switch on to the AC potentiometer. So again this DC potentiometer, to understand this, I am taking first one is slide wire potentiometers. Slide wire potentiometer. So what is the operation and what is the principle of operation of this slide wire potentiometer? How it will be constructed. Okay. Now next one we will discuss the DC Crompton's potentiometers. So what is the disadvantage of this slide wire potentiometers? So why we are going for the DC Crompton's potentiometers, we will see one by one. So first one is DC potentiometers. So the DC potentiometer is an accurate and versatile instrument which is used for the measurement of current, voltage and resistance. This DC potentiometer is also used for the calibration of ammeter, voltmeter and wattmeters. So DC potentiometers, only the magnitude of the unknown EMF is made equal to the potentiometer voltage drop to obtain the balance condition. This is the DC potentiometer definition. That means by using this DC potentiometer we measure only the magnitude of the unknown source. Now next one is the slide wire potentiometers. Okay, so what is meant by this slide wire potentiometers? So let us see. Now you take one slide wire, so which consisting of some length, let us say 0 to 1 here is the length of this slide wire. Okay, the uniform cross section, so it consisting of a slide wire AB. So this slide wire is made up of a platinum silver alloy and the sliding contact is made up of a copper gold silver alloy. So what is the reason behind this using this copper gold silver alloy and this platinum silver alloy is, so to reduce the wear of the wear and tear of the slide wire instrument and the free from the thermoelectric EMFs. That means, so by using this platinum silver alloy and the copper gold silver alloy, so a good contact of minimum wear of slide wire and the free from thermoelectric EMF is possible by using these materials. So this slide wire must consisting of a uniform cross sectional area. So why? Because for any material the resistivity is R is given by its rho L by A. So where rho is the resistivity of that material and the L is the length of that material and the A is the cross sectional area of the material. Now if we take cross sectional area of the wire is fixed, that means the uniform cross sectional area throughout this length of the wire, so the resistance of the wire is proportional to the length of the wire. That means it is directly proportional to length of the wire, as more the length and more the resistance. So lesser the length, lesser the resistance. So this is the factor we have to consider when you are selecting the slide wire. That means the uniform cross sectional area. So if the uniform cross sectional area, then the voltage drop per unit length is same. The voltage drop per unit length is remains unchangeable. Okay, so this is the idea. Now the constant EMF source, let us say our source is a battery. So source battery is supplies the working current. Okay, so this rheostat is used to adjust this working current. So what is the rheostat we are using? To adjust the current in flowing through the sliding wire. To adjusting that we are using the rheostat. Now what is happening here? Now we connect one unknown voltage source, so in parallel with the slide wire AB. So along with a galvanometer, now as seen in the figure. So all of you see the figure. So there is a slide unknown cell is there, so connected in the along with the galvanometer. Now close the switch. That means supply switch is on. If the supply switch is on, the current is flowing in the slide wire. When the current is flowing in the slide wire, so what is happening here? The voltage will get dropped across the slide wire. So according to the Ohm's law, so the voltage drop in the slide wire is given by R into I. P is equal to I into R. That means the voltage drop is the product of the current flowing through the slide wire into the resistance of the slide wire. As because the uniform cross sectional area, so this voltage drop is also proportional to the length of the slide wire. Okay, so what we will do, so the potential drop across 2 points of slide wire is directly proportional to the length of that. That means x into L, where x is V equal to x into L means where x is the voltage drop per unit length. Okay, so this is always constant because of the uniform cross section area. So voltage drop per unit length is x. Now what is our next duty is, now you change the sliding contact of the galvanometer. You change the sliding contacting of the galvanometer. So what will, so until where you obtain the null deflection in the galvanometer. Null deflection in the galvanometer. That means by changing the sliding contact of this galvanometer, we obtain the null deflection in the galvanometer. Now let us assume that this null deflection is obtained at a point C on the sliding wire, on the slide wire. Okay, so but for starting, okay, what is the voltage drop throughout this slide wire means V is equal to VAB equal to x into L, where L is the capital, L is the total length of the slide wire. Now when you obtain the balanced condition at the point C, okay, then what is the voltage drop across this slide wire means, so VAC equal to x into small l, where x is the voltage drop per unit length and L is the length of this slide wire, where we obtain the null deflection in the galvanometer. When we obtain the null deflection in the galvanometer, so we already know the principle of operation of potentiometers. That means the voltage drop across this slide wire when equal to the this unknown EMF voltage, then the galvanometer will give you null deflection. Therefore, if you take the division of this equation 1 and equation 2, so VAB by VAC equal to x into capital L by x into small l. So if x is a voltage drop per unit length, this is the constant, therefore x by x is cancelled. So VAB by VAC is equal to length capital L by small l. Now we want to measure this unknown voltage, unknown cell of the voltage. So that is VAC equal to VAB into small l by capital. Well, VAB is the total voltage drop of the slide wire multiplied with the length where we obtain the balance by total length of the slide wire. So this is the construction and working principle of the slide wire potentiometers. That means the idea is simple. Whenever you connect the two equal voltage sources in parallel, okay, the current flowing through them between them is zero. Because there is no potential difference, the potential difference is 0. If the potential difference is 0, then no current is flows through the circuit. So this is the idea about the construction and operation of the slide wire potentiometers. Okay. Now precautions. So what precautions must be taken for this simple arrangement of the circuit? So here coming to the precautions. Here first one is we have to connect positive terminal of the unknown cell to the positive terminal of the slide wire potentiometer, and negative terminal of the unknown cell should be connected to the negative terminal of the potentiometers. Why? Because if you connect to positive terminal to the negative terminal and negative terminal to the positive terminal, then the galvanometer will never get the null deflection. That means the galvanometer will never give the balanced condition. It will never get the balanced condition. That means why? Because there is always the potential differences exist. So if you connect the plus to the minus and the minus to the plus, that is a positive terminal to the negative terminal of the potentiometer and negative terminal of the potentiometer to the positive terminal of the cell, then voltage difference is always existing. Therefore, always the current flows from the circuit. Therefore, the galvanometer will never obtain the null deflection. So therefore, we must be taken care the positive terminal of the batteries are connected together and the negative terminals of the batteries are connected together with the help of a galvanometer. So this is the first precaution to measure the unknown EMF by using the potentiometer. The next precaution of this experiment is the EMF of driving cell must be greater than the EMF of the unknown cell, that is unknown cell. That means whatever we are measuring the voltage of this unknown voltage of the cell, this voltage must be less than the source voltage. Then only it is possible to measure the unknown EMF. Whatever the driving cell, that is source voltage or battery, the voltage must be greater than the unknown voltage for which we are measuring. That is the one of the precaution. The next precaution is, so the wire of the potentiometer should be of uniform cross sectional area. So we already discussed. So the cross-sectional area of the slide wire must be uniform. Then only the voltage drop per unit length remains constant. Okay, this is the precaution you have to take when you are measuring the unknown voltage with the help of the potentiometers. And the next one is the resistance of the potentiometer wire should be large, because I is equal to V is equal to IR. So the resistance of the potentiometer wire should be large. So coming to the next point. So now let us summarize what we have discussed. So what is the potentiometer? So we have discussed that potentiometer is a measuring instrument which is used to measure an unknown EMF by comparing it with a known EMF. So it works on the principle of comparison method, that is null deflection method. Whenever you obtain the null deflection, the balanced, that is whenever you balanced condition obtained, that is null deflection is obtained in the galvanometer. So therefore the voltages are equal. Therefore the current flowing through the circuit is 0 at balanced condition. So it is a very high accurate instrument to measure the EMF, because there is no voltage drops you are considering here. Okay, as the current flowing through the galvanometer is 0, so it is a high accurate instrument. Next, the potentiometers are useful for calibration of ammeter, voltmeter, wattmeter. So by using this potentiometer, we not only measure the voltages, but also we can measure the unknown resistance, unknown current. So these are the applications of the potentiometers. So what is the DC Crampton potentiometers? So what are the disadvantages of DC Crampton potentiometers? So that we will see in the next class. So in next class we will discuss the DC Crampton's potentiometers. So before going to that, so what is the disadvantages of this potentiometer? So slide wire potentiometer basic means. So here the next one is the source voltage should not be changed as the time passes. First one, the source voltage should not alter as the time passes. But see, the source voltage, battery voltage will be decreases as the time passes. These are the one of the disadvantages. Next, we are ignoring the voltage drop in the connecting wires. We are ignoring the voltage drop in the connecting wires. Next, third one is the internal resistance of the battery also we are ignoring. The internal resistance of the battery also we are ignoring. So every practical source has some internal resistance. So the internal resistance means there must be a voltage drop. So this voltage drop in internal resistance also we are neglecting. Therefore, when you are measuring the unknown voltage, we are losing the accuracy in the measurement. So what we will do to maintain the high accuracy, that is called a DC Crampton's potentiometers. So how we are going to overcome this, what are these disadvantages in the DC Crampton potentiometers, we will see in the next class. Okay, so these are the today's class and summary. Okay, thank you everyone.